Let's get another one. See, we got here we go. We got the drive around. See, we got them driving around now with no plates. Look at this. Look at this. I do believe that these people, second time circling around, are definitely part of the people who have been terrorizing me here on this corner. So here we got another one. She stopped. I wasn't even in her way. Okay. I don't know if they're connected through a gang or their family connections or what. Here's the stolen car that's still been sitting here for now well over 2 weeks. Again, a senior citizen patrol came, and that was last week. Sat right here in front of in back of my van, right here. Car 19, senior citizen patrol, 2 Caucasian older elderly men, did not do a thing about this abandoned car sitting here across the street for over 2 weeks, but they literally watched me at my house for 10 minutes. Didn't smile, had a scowl on their face. So now I have this. So what other proof do I need to show that these devils, there's another one with no plates, it's a Kia, a pewter Kia speeding by. These devils do this when we were out here doing the lawn, only there was like probably about 30 or 40 cars circling and a bunch of people walking their dogs. So I have a feeling that one that came by, a man I came by, I talked to him, he said, have you lived in this neighborhood long? He said, no, 10 years. So he walked, he had a little bit of a frown attitude, but he tried to speak to me. He turned around the corner, and he must have been one of the ones that said, hey, she's over there doing her thing, filming. I can't stop filming because, unfortunately, I don't have cameras to watch the property. And really, this stuff that I'm talking about, it's not a figment of my imagination in any way. This is real. And no family should have to live like this. All this started to transpire against me and my family still residing in this house after my mother died. And then suddenly 10 months later, I was told enough grieving at the church, hint, hint, and then the attacks began. So I since have left that church, but my sister and I used to attend that church. We volunteered at the church, really enjoyed helping at that church, but that church turned on us shortly after some community members over here contacted them. And so, I left. My sister stayed. I told her it's not safe. You really shouldn't go there. As a matter of fact, there's a guy with a fedora named Jeff who tried to run me down with the life axe truck at that church. And then he also came after me and my sister in her car, her burgundy Toyota Avalon, after my car had been sabotaged. Tires popped literally the week after the pastor said, I can just say, hey, tires be popped, and the tires were popped. Well, guess what? My tires were popped. A couple of people at the church offered to replace my tires the next week, but that didn't happen, and then I got another popped tire. Then I stopped going. So I went one last time with my sister in her Avalon, and then the guy with the fedora chased me down and her after the services, heading home in his car. So that was 2 times he used a vehicle to assault me. And his name is Jeff. He still attends that church, but this is after they wanted us out. And my sister said after I left, she said, oh, they're starting to treat me so nice in the church now, and they're really welcoming me. I said, well, I don't know. Well, when her phone got stolen by her son and her car, and she wasn't able to go back there, nobody tried to see how she was. Nobody checked on her. Nobody cared. And she ended up murdered. That's how much they cared and they liked her. And they knew. They were much aware. Trust. about what was going down in this community, because they had a guy who drove by the front of my street almost every week, a black man. He's a military guy who attended their church, and he would sometimes wave. He doesn't anymore. When he drove by, and he would see and glance and see the house, and they knew we lived here because, they actually picked me up at this place a couple of times. The church people did. For one time to go to this nice little place with a couple of the ladies there to paint and get to have a nice ladies' night out. And then the second time, one of the lead singers in the choir, who's becoming a doctor, he's married now, a black man who's now there. The second time he picked me up with a group of people, and we went to feed the homeless people. It was on Thanksgiving, so we're supposed to go on Thanksgiving Day and the day after Thanksgiving. So I did those things with the church. I volunteered with the church, and then when certain people here decided that they didn't want me here, the church decided they didn't want me there. So I left. I had 2 flat tires. I couldn't afford it. My son doesn't give me any money from the trust. And so once my car is gone, it's gone. Yeah. Not Nightmare on Elm Street, but definitely a weird rendition of the Stepford Wives going on here. They look calm, they pretend to be nice, but this is a very dangerous street and neighborhood to live on if they don't want you here. And if they want your house, these predator land flipping people who like to say, hey, you know what? Jesus taught me that I can, want it, claim it, and take it. That's called coveting. That's a sin. And that's a lie. But that's what they're taught. And then they go and they ask for forgiveness when they do something, when they murder people, when they steal anything. Oh, wow, that's okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to have the father at the church, give me forgiveness. I'll do my penance, and then my soul will say, no, you're going to hell in a handbasket. Trust that. So that's my daily diary for today on the anniversary of my attack at the local pho restaurant on Passover of April 2019. It is now April 1st. How funny is that? The eve of Passover lands on April 1st, 2022. So it is actually exactly 4 years later. 4 years.